and welcome to the Sad Dads Club podcast. Here's everybody's favorite sad dads, Jim and Foo.
Some maple guac. Why didn't you make any maple guac? I was like, God damn, that's the most Canadian thing I've ever heard.
And I think I knew something was up when, because my reply was, "Ooh,"
And then the recipe,
she tagged it with "ha ha ha," and I was like, "No, I'm not making fun of you." I'm like, that's interesting. That's a twist.
I don't think that was real,
right?
For her.
And so then I went, "Well, is that okay? I guess if you were making it like a sweet savory thing, sure." But then she didn't follow it with anything, and I was like, "Oh, so, all right. Well, fucking, what is the maple?" And it took me, but it was within one page of like scrolling.
Wow.
And I went, "I'll be fucking damned."
I would have never thought to look
So then
for that.
when I said, do you just substitute the lime for the, like, 2 tablespoons? It's because I was looking at a recipe, but I was curious to what her, and she's like, "I'm fucking with you."
I never would have done that.
That's dumb. And I went, "No, it's real. There's some motherfuckers doing this." But certainly the honey may have been a stretch, but the bacon I could certainly see as a replacement for salt. Like if you were,
Sure.
but now you're getting into, now I'm putting twists. Now I'm adding a la carte shit into my guac.
I don't feel like that's a real Mexican guac. You're just sort of
with bacon?
off the rails a little bit.
I mean,
Bacon and maple syrup.
I mean, yeah.
Scramble some eggs and put that in there too. while you're at it.
You ever had a pancake in your guac?
Or how about a Tim Hortons donut?
Yeah. You have avocado toast. What about an avocado banana? No. That played out with when my dad showed up.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Dad, I almost had to throw a friend out of the garage. We were talking about guac recipes." And he went, "What?" And I said, I
almost had to throw you out of your own garage.
I know. You're like, "Sour cream." And I'm like, "Get the fuck out." and I was like, "Limes." And you're like, "I'm going to disembowel you and right here." Right. So I'm going to tell my dad about the difference between the two recipes.
Yeah.
And he said, I think last year he went over to my sister's for some event, Thanksgiving. I can't remember what it was. Might have been a birthday party. And he said he pulled down some recipe that he thought would be good for guac. And he's like, "No.
It wasn't good.
I'm like, "What was in it?" He's like, "I don't even remember."
It was that bad.
Oh, well, okay. But I put in way too many cycles, especially once Nat said, #HeyNat. Nat said maple syrup. I was like, well, okay. So then that put me off into what is authentic?
Yeah.
Authentic Mexican guacamole.
I think it kind of depends on who's making it. Really.
I think if you're to strip it way down, because just avocados is just like a creamed avocado.
Right.
Certainly most of my spices are ad libs. The tomatoes are ad libs. Really, salt, pepper, the avocado. Most had limes. Some were because of taste, but some were only because to keep it from browning.
Right.
And some, even less onions, the red onions. The jalapenos are an ad lib.
Onions.
Yeah. So sometimes you can,
yeah.
But a lot of times the more stuff you add, and I think you start getting closer to like a salsa as opposed
like
to
an avocado slaw.
Right.
Yeah.
It used to. Anyway.
Yeah.
But
no, I mean, that's just for me.
Right. Right.
Let me be clear. For our family.
Yeah, for your family.
That's just how it is.
Yeah.
So, but like when I get, guacamole with some lime in it, I'm just, I just don't want to eat it.
So does I can't remember if we talked about like what keeps yours as far as a preservative from browning.
I think the sour cream helps. Yeah, it will turn brown after a while, like a good long while. But that's after we've eaten.
So
if it sits.
How long does a tub of yours last in the house?
I mean, it's just for mealtime. It's gone. Typically,
usually it's gone in a meal. Yeah, like ours is.
Yeah.
If we're making street tacos and I make it, most of it's gone because we're also doing like chips or something like that, and like
we made tacos the other night, and Shan made 3 avocados of guac.
Yeah,
and we ate it all between the 2 of us.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, so
I mean, I don't feel bad ever about eating guac or salsa.
Yeah.
And like. Now the chips part maybe,
right.
But if I was making a chicken burrito or something that with rice and nothing was necessarily deep fried, I'd take a bite, dollop, take a bite,
right,
reasonable,
for sure,
reasonable.
For sure. Anyway, funny conversation.
Yes, it was. Hey, welcome to Sad Dad's Club Podcast episode. Oh shit, 293, 292,
somewhere in there.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm Lord Fu.
I'm Jim.
So I had this one thing.
Yeah.
It's like going on almost 3 weeks.
Is it that rash?
Yes, that I got from prison. So this was a funny moment that I had, like a car thing.
Okay.
This is gonna bug me. So I had gone to the grocery store in the RS, and it was raining-ish. It was one of those like 3-4 weeks when it was raining on the weekend. So I went to the grocery store, and I'm at the light at the intersection, like 2 cars back from the actual like crosswalk.
Yeah.
Car guy. Like I'm always listening for car sounds, motorcycle sounds. Like I enjoy
the motors.
I enjoy the sounds of the sounds of the motors. So out of the corner of my eye, I catch a compact, dark, but not really sure of the color 100%, but it's like corner of my eye because I'm still cars back and I have obstructions. But I don't really hear it, but I see it. And as someone that also enjoys taking corners as
on 2 wheels.
Yes. I could see that this guy coming from Mahaney into that right turn lane, coming to Megaquatic. So he's coming this way and turning this way on Wood Creek.
Okay.
Person is coming hot. I'm like, oh, and I don't hear sound, but then my light goes green, and I'm thinking, oh, well, he's coming in hot because he knows this light is coming. So
and that's a protected right turn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, yes. So as I proceed through the intersection.
So he's on your left?
He's on my right hand.
Oh, so you're going.
I'm coming straight
across. You're going home.
Yes, I'm coming home.
Yeah.
So, however this ends up, he's in front of me some distance. But of course, I lose him because now we're single file, and he's, the cars in front of me have obstructed my view. Because I'm slowly starting to need to make my way over to make a left-hand turn right here, so I get one lane over, and I see the car that had made the turn, and it was a black Focus ST. But it had my spoiler on it.
Oh, okay.
And so there's this running joke like, oh, you got the discount model. You guys are cute. So I make that joke all the time. Anytime I see an ST, oh, front wheel drive, that's cute.
That's cute.
You guys are cute.
Yeah.
Oh, that small motor, I bet that's cute. So I realized, oh shit, that was the guy. So he ends up coming over one lane too, and then gets into the same turn lane that I'm in, and he is immediately in front of me, and I see him doing the tap tap brake light things. Like he must see me, and I of course see him, but I'm not gonna flash my blinkers or anything. But I'm like, okay, he knows I'm here, and he knows that I have the big dog and he has the try hard. So anyone that's gonna put that spoiler on their ST, knows that it came from the big boy.
Right. So
we make the left turn. No one is hot-footing it, but I put it into track mode just in case I needed to do some sauce.
Okay.
And there was no cars in front of us, but we both kind of took off a little hot, and not to the point to where it was dangerous or anything, or like unresponsible. But then as we get closer to what would be my right-hand turn, he taps brake lights. Yeah. And I'm like, well, I can make the long way around. Like, let's just see what happens at the stop sign when there's no one here. I'll see.
Which is a four-way stop.
It's a four-way stop.
So you can't one-to-one race on
No.
Okay.
We can't get side by side, but I could get up next to him by making a right hand if he slow rolls it.
Okay.
So he comes up to the stop sign, and I come up right next to him in like side to side to make a right hand turn, and I'm like waiting for his window because it was semi-drizzling. I'm waiting to see if he's gonna
window down.
He windows down. It is a 40s dad.
Okay.
Like me.
Okay.
Big fella. Big beard.
Okay.
He rolls his window on. I roll my window down. He's like, I shit you not. He says, hey, man, sorry about the wing. Like, I know.
Sorry about
I know
wing.
I know it's from the RS.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, dude, man, you do you. Like, it looks nice. He also had like a fiberglass hood with like an extra you've probably seen it. They're like heat extraction vents, but they almost look like little nostrils.
Okay.
Anyway. So he had an aftermarket.
He's just trying to soup it.
Yes.
A little bit.
He's just doing that.
Yeah.
Like tuner shit his way. Anyway, so he apologized for the wing, and I went, "Oh man, don't sweat it. It looks nice." He's like, "Yeah, man, I'm looking to do." He was gonna do something else. I think he said he was gonna do rocker panels. We're at a stop sign. Neither of us are like Paul Walker, Vin Diesel shit.
Right.
We are recognizing two middle-aged dudes with fun cars. He's like, "Yeah, I got. I think we're doing rocker panels." And I'm like, "Oh man, I like the hood." He's like, "It needs to get repainted, man. It's just Rust-Oleum shit."
Oh, that's
like,
funny.
And I went, "I like the hood though. It does look nice." He's like, Cool. I got a whole bunch of more mods. Like, man, time. And I went, "I know, right?" I'm at a stop sign.
Oh my gosh.
Two focused guys.
Yeah.
And I get back home. So I'm like, and it was totally cordial. He's like, "Well, hey man, you have a great weekend." I'm like, "You too." And he drove off. No one's peeling out.
Yeah.
It's just, and then I make my right hand turn, but I'm in track mode, so I let him hear the pops. And then I get back home, and I'm like, I just had the weirdest conversation.
Sorry about the wing.
And Venus goes, "What?" I'm like, I just rolled up on a guy who had a Focus ST, and like Venus, she's in on the joke. She's like, "Oh, that's cute." And I went, "I know, right?" But when we got side by side, he apologized for having my wing on his non-RS car. And she's like, "What?" I know, he was so nice though. But I'm like, can you imagine being? You're like, "Hey, I have a lot of respect.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I know you. I knew you got the Jeep 392. Mine's only the 4, but I don't have the Rubicon package. I just bought the decals.
Right.
Sorry about that. Yeah, it's also the EV1. Yeah. Hey man, don't judge me.
I have seen the most common one I've seen is the Civics, where they have like the regular Civic, because like the newer Civics, they have like the single tailpipe exits.
Yeah.
And the Civic Si and the Civic Type Rs have those.
Yeah.
But the normal Civics, like the Sport or whatever,
yeah,
they have 2 exhaust pipes on either side. They don't have the central.
They don't have the center exit?
No.
Okay.
So when you see those and they've got all the badging and shit on them, you're like, come on, dude.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's
no way.
It's not even close.
We were I was with Piper where did we go to pick up food? Shit, it was just the other night. Oh, we went to go pick up sushi for Venus's birthday. Happy birthday to my wife. I love my wife. And there was a beater F-150 in the parking lot with I'm getting out of the car and I see this like clean as day. One, I have a pet peeve with people. I don't care. I know it's your car. I know it's your truck. Even manufacturers, if you put a fucking hood scoop on your car,
yeah,
and it doesn't go anywhere, or it's not even stop.
Yeah,
please fucking stop. So this F-150 had a fucking riv-nutted fucking hood scoop,
yeah,
with the plastic thing like it went.
It didn't go anywhere.
All you're doing is drag.
Collecting air.
Bug shit.
Yeah.
Why?
I think some people they do it because it's a joke. Some people do.
Could be.
Yeah.
But then, like, right next to his F-150, he, like, it looked like a fucking postage stamp of a Roush.
Oh, God.
Roush R sticker.
Okay.
Like, right in front of his F-150. I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
I'm like, look at that guy, Piper. That's cute.
Yeah.
He's like, what? I'm like, no. Roush doesn't slap fake hoods on their
scoops.
Come on.
No, usually Roush is if they're doing something, it's functional.
Which is funny, because yes.
Yeah.
Because we were, like, when we've talked about this, we were in Fiji, like, that's the culture for Priuses.
Oh.
They, like,
soup it up.
Quad exhausts. And
for that 3-banger.
Yeah. Fender scoops and ducting for brakes and little fins and Jesus. No.
Yeah.
But that's the car culture. Like some of these, and here's the thing. I was one of those guys with my Fiero. I would go to fucking Kmart and get like the chrome edging trim and like just to like, and at some point
to do your own thing. I guess. Yeah.
They sell them in like it's like a 3 chromed like decal thing that makes it look like it's
vents.
like a vent.
Like they go on the side of a Buick or something?
Like a fender. Yes.
Yeah.
Like a fender vent.
Uh-huh.
Like, where does that go? Nowhere.
Yeah, it's just
and
a
I'm
sticker.
Like, man, those look so cool. People would think I was so fast.
Wow.
Anyway.
I've always been very careful about that. And I'm more of a, like, I want my car to be stock looking.
Yes.
I like the clean stock look for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. See, yeah, I've evolved, like, since.
Yeah.
Like, my Eclipse was audacious.
Yeah.
Grimlock, stock.
Yeah.
Like, as I got older, it was more about, I don't need to
tell everybody.
I'm not advertising.
Yeah.
But if we get in a fun zone, I'm gonna smoke you because it's like OEM plus is for the most part what Grimlock was, and certainly what the RS is.
Yeah.
It's not very, very minor, and you wouldn't know externals.
So, a couple weeks now ago, Shan flew home from Portland from driving up with Millie.
Right.
So I had to go to the airport to pick her up, and I'm on baseline heading out the side of Roseville to go to the airport. And I'm got my cruise set on Riego baseline, whatever. It's 65. It's speed limit's 55. I have my cruise set at 65. I got a guy behind me in a Camry who's fairly far behind me, but at some point decides on a double yellow that he needs to pass me.
Oh.
And I'm like, I let him by.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, oh, that's interesting, pal.
Yeah.
So we keep going, and you got a couple of stops.
Right.
Riego Market.
Right.
And then you got the train tracks. We get to the train tracks, and as soon as I leave the stop sign, I just fucking lit it up into the other lane, oncoming traffic. No one was there.
No, yeah.
And passed the shit out of him.
Yeah.
He never approached. He never approached again, but I was like, oh, that's funny, little guy.
Yeah, that's
you know
cute.
what I mean? Yeah.
Well, you left that TRD at the other.
And then when we got on the freeway, now you got the overpass there, and you got lights, and sometimes the lights are red for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
And so when you're trying to get on the freeway, there's oftentimes cars waiting to go over the bridge to get on the freeway on the round.
Yeah.
Well, we had that kind of thing, so he had kind of caught up, and I made sure that he stayed behind me.
Right.
And then when we get around the round onto the freeway, man, I just hammer it.
Same.
And before I knew it, I looked down, I'm doing 95, and I'm just like, I never saw him again.
Bye, dickhead.
See ya. But I just thought it was funny because it was you're passing me for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
I had my cruise set. You didn't leave me here. You passed me and then lingered around in front of me.
Yeah.
For what? There was no reason.
Yeah.
I wasn't holding up traffic at 65 and a 55.
Elephants never forget. Like, I look at most of that baseline stuff as pretty much that, like, unless it's someone doing 45, you know what? I don't care. Like, I got nothing.
Yeah.
I care about one part of that drive, and it is that on-ramp, that looping on-ramp.
Yep.
I will put all of my chips into that part. If there is someone in front of me, I will eat your vehicle on that outside turn lane.
Oh, yeah.
And I will hit every downshift.
Oh, yeah.
And oh, my God, everything just sings.
Yeah.
And if there's no one in front of me,
oh, yeah,
I sit on the inside.
You whip.
And
yeah.
Nope, we got more. Oh shit. If tuning fork, like, and then you slingshot off that back, and you're like, no one better be here, because here, left turn, here we go, tick, 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 tick.
Oh yeah.
But oh my God, that on ramp, that's the hot sauce.
Yep. And then I never saw him after that. I was like, oh, where'd he go? See ya,
Camry. Good job, buddy. Unless it was one of those TRD ones. With
it wasn't
all black roof. Those fucking
no.
I mean, they're doing something.
I always call the TRDs the turds.
Hashtag sorry, Argonaut. I think he has a Tacoma with a TRD package.
Well, that's a Tacoma. I'm talking about the Camrys.
Oh, the Camrys.
Yeah.
Like, we could sell the moms and dads a TRD Camry. We could put a spoiler on it.
Yeah, it's like the most boring car ever that they put a sport package on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
we'll make them think it's a Lexus.
Yeah.
But not really.
Well, it's just like on Mighty Car Mods, they did that Corolla revamp. Did you see that?
No.
They bought Moog bought a Corolla because it's the most boring car ever. And he figured, I could buy the cheapest Corolla, and I can fix it up and sell it for decent money.
Right.
Because I'm buying the cheapest one, and I can fix it up and sell it for and make them more money.
Right.
And he did. He actually made a little bit more money on it.
Did
he?
Yeah. Was that can you make money flipping?
Yeah.
I haven't watched that one yet.
There's two of them because Marty did one first.
What'd he make? Or what'd he build?
I don't remember now.
But Moogs was the.
I think
Camry?
he made $100 or
Corolla?
something on whatever Marty did, and then Moog made 3,000 or something, close to 3K.
Yeah.
So yeah, because they're just like, if it's clean, if it's a Corolla and it's clean, people will buy it. You know.
Yeah.
And he bought it cheap and then fixed it up.
Yeah.
Addressed a bunch of issues, and then sold it for more money because he was willing to put the effort in.
The elbow grease.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, if that's your thing.
Yeah. I mean, well, they're just showing that you can do that.
Oh yeah.
Really.
Well, now more than ever, like that's a thing.
Yeah.
You know, like between
You can flip cars.
the stuff at like Copart, you buy a salvage thing. You know, the economy is there for that kind. The market. That's what I meant to say.
Oh,
the market is there for. Man, if you can get insurance or you can get it cleared because it's a,
salvage title.
Salvage title. That
I would stay away from salvage title cars, though.
some of them, it's not. It's there. Some salvage titled cars are, like vandalisms
Yeah.
where the insurance is going to scrap it because it's salvage, but mechanically you can get that cleared at the DMV. Yes, it someone scratched the shit out of it or did something, and the insurance was just like, nope, we don't know what else was done here, and the seats are all carved up. It's like, yeah, but you replace the seats, you get it all.
I mean, it's I just kind of wonder if it's like a First of all, its value is going to be diminished because it's already salvage title. But also, from an insurance standpoint, what does that do when you insure a salvage title car?
A lot of them, I think that's hard.
Yeah,
that's why I think if you can get a clear title after the repairs are made.
Yeah.
But certainly, some people don't care.
When Melanie was looking for a car, we went to Antelope area, drove a real nice Tiguan, and found out that it was salvage title.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is for my daughter. I'm not, no.
Do you know what the salvage was from?
I don't know.
Flood
I never found out. I think it had an accident or something.
Was it?
Yeah. But that kind of frightened us off a bit. And he's like, it's been repaired and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, I know, but it's going to be her car. And I can't.
That's a bridge too far. If it was me, maybe, and the insurance wasn't going to be problematic. But for a young person with a salvage title, how readily available is
for
insurance?
buying her first car?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
How safe was the repair done? How bad was How bad was whatever was wrong, and how safe was the repair?
Right.
You don't know.
Do you have that paperwork? No, I bought it from my friend who had it. So
yeah, maybe.
You're like, bridge too far.
Makes me nervous.
Yeah.
That almost feels like, I don't have insurance.
Right.
I have a salvage title vehicle. I just don't have insurance.
Right. And so, like I said, though, some people will
look for those
because one, they may be looking for certainly ROP programs or school and trade industries don't care. So there's a market in those places like, we just need a car to work on that's modern. This is a Volkswagen, like what year? A 2018 Tiguan. Well, sure. Like how else are you going to get a cheap Tiguan that you can do ECU stuff on, modern wiring on? You ain't going to go out and buy
a new one,
or one from fucking CarMax. Like that would be dumb. But certainly, lemons, those lemons races and like small boutique racing leagues.
Yeah.
I think those are starting to become like, if I could find, if we were ever to be serious about kicking around, like, let's do autocross.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to take the fucking RS, right?
No.
But I would buy a salvage I would buy a salvage BRZ or an FRS Well, like without even thinking about it.
Well,
Like, I don't
yeah,
care.
It's not your daily. As long as it's not your daily.
Right. It's never going to be street legal.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be. It's a race car. So
Right.
we're going to strip it. So certainly for the kids, no.
Right.
But if I was ever serious about project shit, or man, you know what? Now I'm retired and I'm looking to tinker on something that I can take to Thunder Hill or Thunder Valley or whatever, the raceway that's up there north of us.
Seriously.
Thunder Hill Raceway.
Where's that?
It's like Willows, up past Willows, like way north.
Oh, I'm not.
The two race guys know what I'm talking about.
I don't know.
Like Sears, whatever Sears Point is now.
Yeah, whatever it's called.
The one in Napa.
Sears Point.
Yeah, whatever. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But
it just made me nervous to like.
Sure.
And this is her money, and I'm not comfortable with it. I wouldn't push her to buy it.
Well, and two, so this leads me to the second thing. Stuff like that, like we've loosely talked about this, like I think prior when we talk about the difference between like modern conveniences of Amazon and online shopping. When my dad would work on his commuter car, his Mazda 323, or his truck when the engine took a shit. The problems with my sister's car were beyond him. But if he needed a part that he did or a tool that he didn't have, it was 20 to probably 30 minutes relative to how my dad would drive to Auburn or Grass Valley,
part store,
to Reeby's or a Napa.
Yep.
Hey,
and then order it.
And then order it if they didn't have it.
Yeah.
And then come back in a week or stop by on your way home on Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever, and we'll have it.
Yeah.
Or this one's going to take us a week and come and get it then. And then he gets home and he's got a laid up car for a week.
Yeah.
And then he gets the part and maybe perhaps for days because he's a full-time worker, he can't work on it until the weekend, and it's raining.
And hopefully the part's right.
Right, and hopefully you nailed it like first shot with the Johnny Pimple Face. Like, it's a 4-cylinder.
Exactly.
It's 3 cylinders, dipshit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive? It's a fucking Mazda 323. It's not all-wheel drive. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, good luck.
Yeah. Nowadays.
Right. Nowadays. And here's the thing with that. So, last week, I think it was Tuesday, my dad shows up middle of the day.
Which is not his normal day.
Not as normal.
Normally,
Normally it's Friday. So, he shows up middle of the day. I'm busy. The window's open. I'm like looking out. Is it because the construction down here? We're getting tons of general contractor solicited. You need windows?
No.
How's your roofing? Let's fucking go away.
Yeah.
Anyway, I look out the window. It's my dad. Hey, Dad.
We don't need any pomegranates, sir.
Yeah. What do you need? We don't need oranges. We're full up. I'm like, opening the door. See, comes in. He's got a fucking hand with a part in it and a Post-it note. And he walks down the hall. He's like, when we were busy, I'm really sorry. I need a starter solenoid for my Cub Cadet. And I looked it up on Amazon, and I know it's there, but it'll take me a week to get it. How fast can you get it? I'm like, you came all the way down here without knowing if I can get it any... Okay, Dad. All right.
Some things are not prime.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. He's like, so he'd done the research. He knows it's in Amazon somewhere. I'm like, okay. So he's like, it's right here. Here's the part number. They punch in the part number. I'm like, okay. All right. And so while I find it, I'm like, okay, so yeah, this one is, it's 2 days. so it won't be here till Thursday. And he's like, what time on Thursday? I'm like, Dad, it's hit or miss. All right, I'll just pick it up on Friday. But then he goes in to tell me that the only reason he had really come down here is because he had gone to Reeby's to get the part, and they said they didn't have any in stock. Couldn't get it. Wasn't here. Would take a week
to order it.
And I went, oh, well, that's a shame.
Yeah.
Because it took me 20 seconds or less in Amazon to find it and get it in 2 days. So why would a parts store that could get it less faster? Oh, that battery's dead. Get it less faster than Amazon.
Probably depends on where it's whatever that part is located at.
So then I'm like, well, how frustrating is that? Because you would think as a vendor, you would be sure you're going to have a contract with a part supplier.
Yeah.
But would you willingly turn away a customer? Like, it would take nothing to have a side thing and okay, here's a part number. Here's the part number. Okay, I can't get it from my supplier, but hold on a second. Actually, I can get it here in 2 days. Throw $5 on there.
From Amazon.
Yeah. Amazon's going to deliver to your store, dude.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
But it's not a part that they can guarantee, really. Right?
Well, I don't know.
I mean, I assume someone like Reeby's is operating under the guise of, we have our part suppliers who are all over the country, and those parts come from XYZ manufacturers, and we can guarantee the quality of those parts per se.
Makes sense. I would buy that.
If they are going to go through something like Amazon, now all bets are off on the quality of the product and whether or not it's actually not fake.
Okay.
Or something like that, right?
Sure.
So they would be very hesitant to offer that kind of, I would assume, unless they were just straight up with the customer and be like, we can't get it here for a week, but you can go on Amazon and order it here, or we can order it for you and you can pick it up here.
Like, see, that's what I'm thinking. Like, there would be tons of ways to, if I was a storefront, to
keep the business,
keep the person in the store.
Sure.
Like, the warranty thing I hadn't really thought of, but that's a good point.
Yeah.
But you could just as easily say, I can't get it through my supplier, but I can get one here in 2 days. It's the same part number, but there's going to be no return warranty. If you want to wait, that one comes with warranty. You can return it if it doesn't work, or I can get you one in 2 days. And
I mean, I assume in that sense they're kind of doing you. If they were to offer that type of thing, they would be doing you a little bit of a disservice, because probably through Amazon you have some sort of return mechanism that you can make on this thing. And if they're telling you they don't have any kind of warranty, they'll just get you the thing, and then once you buy it, you're stuck with it. They're not helping you. If you can get it from the same.
Yeah, I'm saying they wouldn't give you. Okay, yeah.
I mean, I totally understand that logic.
Like, I would think then you would try and... What am I saying? I would have backups for supply, like intake. Is there some sort of specified contract with their part suppliers? Like, if you're empty, where else can I get a certified, warrantyable intake?
I think it's, you kind of look at it like... Reeby's or Napa, they're known for buying parts from specific suppliers.
Mm-hmm.
So if they start stepping outside of that, they're going to start making somebody pissed off if they find out that you have circumnavigated the part
that
supply.
Makes sense, but they did. But then they also, as a business, lost intake. Money intake.
Yeah, that's the choice they've made.
Yeah.
So
it's like,
I agree with that. And another good place to find stuff too is on eBay Motors or whatever. eBay.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You can find stuff there sometimes that you can't find anywhere else.
Oh, I found, especially when I look for parts for Mima.
Yeah.
Like Amazon generally is like dry heaves, but eBay Motors, because most of it's still a heavily used truck in Vietnam, the Philippines. Like they're remanufacturing parts, India, for it because it's heavily in use. Australia, heavily in use there still.
Well, I found a lot of parts for Millie's Forester on eBay.
Oh yeah,
like interior plastic covers and all the and actual real Subaru part bags with all the part numbering and all that kind of stuff. So I never felt like I was getting some knockoff thing or anything like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's a tough game to play from a parts supplier's standpoint. I mean, I could really see why they would shy away from that. They just because they can't guarantee the parts.
Sure.
And they're sidestepping their whole the whole network of parts warehousing that they have. And they may not have it here locally in California, but damn it, they have it in New Hampshire or some shit. You know? So
it just makes me wonder to what end, like the brick and mortars expect to be viable when a digital shorter duration solution is like you can't find it. Like my dad gets frustrated all the time about that kind of service. Like he goes in to ask someone a question about a thing who's supposed to be a
expert,
a specialty customer service representative, and no fucking clue. Like he gets super frustrated going to something like Home Depot or Lowe's.
Oh yeah,
and he's like looking for a
specific thing,
a construction thing, and gets someone that wouldn't know their ass from a hole in the ground.
Yeah.
And he's just like, and he'll go off on a rant about how when I used to go to Diamond Lumber in Grass Valley, right there off McKnight. Yeah, I know. Yeah. He's like, you go in there and it was like every single person in there was a goddamn contractor. You just fucking, you like, I need this with the truss support. And they'd be like, it's 5, third bend down.
Right.
He's like,
the big box star, they're just hiring anybody off the street and their training's limited unless you find they have certain areas of the store will have a gym, right?
Yeah.
A guy that knows his shit.
Yeah.
And then finding that guy to help you as the customer service person can be difficult.
Yeah. Does the apron fit?
Yeah.
Congratulations. Welcome to Home Depot.
I think too, to a certain extent, we're getting a little bit spoiled with how quick we can get some of this stuff too.
Oh, sure.
Oh, you mean I gotta wait 5 days for that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I get upset when I order shit on Amazon and I see the delivery date is like a couple of weeks out, and I'm like, really?
Yeah.
And then I'll take it and I'll start digging for another thing I can find that's similar or whatever.
1 day Prime.
Yeah, like
I kind of really need it right now, man.
I don't. Sometimes it's like I don't even necessarily need it right now, but I'm paying for.
I'm paying for a service that's Prime. Like it needs to be here in 2 days or less.
I want it.
Yeah,
and it's all because whatever that item is comes out of a warehouse that's really fucking far away.
Yeah,
they don't have it down the street. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I will say this: I ordered a new portafilter for our espresso machine, which is the thing that you put the coffee in.
Oh, yeah.
And I ordered a new one for that this morning.
And arrived this
and it
evening.
will be here tonight.
Yeah.
So there is a little bit of that, like we're kind of spoiled to a certain extent.
Sure.
And even where it comes to parts like his starter, like back in the day, you probably would have waited, like you were saying, you would have waited a week or more for the thing. And then you would have had to go back to the store and pick it up.
Right.
And nowadays, you're getting it in a couple of days and it's coming right to your house. Some guy's setting it on your doorstep.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just feeds that, like, I got to have it right now.
Instant.
Yeah.
Now.
The instant gratification
like
kind of a thing. It's tough.
It is, because you certainly feel spoiled. It is like I mean, some things, like we just covered, like, I don't really need it, but I need it.
But damn it, I'm paying for the service, so I'd like to have it as soon as possible.
There's been other things like, what did I just buy? A toner. Like I'm printing a bunch of stuff for Xander for like finals prep and studying. And Sunday, midday, I'm cranking through some stuff and toner's low. Toner gone. And I went, oh, like I'm not, it's too late for me to make it to Staples.
Yeah.
Next day, toner, it was here by 7 a.m. and I continued to crank out stuff so that he could take, so in some instances, it's super utilitarian. In others, it's like, do I really? No, but I do. I'm going to take advantage of it because I'm paying for it.
But also some of those things that you're paying Amazon that service for is things you could have just driven down the street and picked up at Staples.
Sure. Right? If it was, yes. In that case, it was probably bleeding the edge of office hours. But
for sure.
Yeah.
But, so there's a little bit of an overlap, and that's probably part of the reason why that stuff's so easily obtained and how quick you can get it.
Yeah.
A thing like a espresso machine portafilter, I wouldn't expect that to be anywhere near here. Like,
I don't know.
I would think it would be in like 2 warehouses in the U.S. somewhere, and they would have to pick it, and they would ship it, and it might take a day or two.
Some dude.
And I was like, I can have it today?
Yeah.
You're telling me I can have it today for free.
Yeah, there's some guy in Bakersfield with a TRD Camry that was like, I've got a purpose.
or a dude with a Focus ST with an RS wing on it. Yeah.
Speaking of Amazon, so Friday, Dad and I were sitting here in the garage. It's just John, and I had an Amazon delivery, and it pulls up. It was one of the Rivians.
Oh, yeah.
And my dad hadn't seen one. And I went, oh, one of the new ones. And he's reading the name on it, and he totally butchered Rivian.
Oh, yeah.
What is that? And I went, oh, it's an EV one. And I went, fuck it, I got to ask this guy. So he parks, gets out, brings me my boxes, and I said, hey, man, I don't want to hold you up. I don't want to get you in trouble. But I'm like, I got to know. What do you think of the Rivian? And dude, it is awesome. And I went, really? And he's like, I love it. I absolutely love it.
Wow.
And I went, really? And I'm like, I don't want to hold you, but like, why? And he's like, the thing I didn't know. He's like, when you park, the door to the cargo hold automatically shuts. He's like, as opposed to the non-fancy,
the old van,
the engine ones, you've got to unlock the door, get in, get the package, then you have to manually shut the door. He's like, it's just a series of like having to manually open and close the door, and if you forget it, then you get in trouble. He's like, as soon as you leave the vehicle, the door shuts. He's like, so I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
He's like, it's so handy. It's like, I think, God, he set a range that was under 200, and I went, really? It was a little bit like, oh, I thought they had a little bit more. I said, they
don't really need that many miles.
Yeah, I said, so charging banks at the distribution hub? And he's like, oh, yeah, and they're putting in tons more. Like everyone you just come and you park it there, and they plug it in, and they're rolling over the entire fleet at that distribution hub to the Rivians.
That's really cool.
And I went, oh, man. I appreciate taking. I mean, it was a span of probably 30 seconds to 90 seconds.
Yeah, you don't want to.
But I asked him. I'm like, man, I just gotta know. How is it? He's like, oh, it's cool. It's awesome.
I nerded out on a Rivian delivery van video or two.
Did you?
Oh yeah, all the stuff they've done. Like for the ergonomics, for the driver, for getting in and out, and like he was saying, the doors automatically opening and closing.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff they really put a lot of thought into those new Rivian vans. Really interesting.
I'm like, I like to see it. It's handy.
Yeah, seeing them around town, it's kind of cool to think, oh, they're not puffing anything out of them. You know, and they don't. It's not like they're driving crazy mileage with those. Probably most of those trucks don't get driven more than 70 or 80 miles in a day, I would think.
I don't know. Like, I mean, the more of them you have, the less distance they're traveling. Traveling.
Yeah, that's fascinating. I love watching those roll through the neighborhood. I think I took a delivery yesterday from an electric Rivian.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, me and my wife, we saw, like 2 weeks ago, we saw like 80 of you guys coming out, and they were all like Rivians. We were like, whoa, Rivians!
Yeah.
It was super silly, and he's like, they're awesome. They're really awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, you guys have a great day. I'm like, turned around to the lady. I'm like, lady, thank my driver. She's like, absolutely. Oh, did she do that? Anyway.
Does she respond to lady?
No.
Oh.
That's why I say lady. You know what? Thing that speaking of the lady, hopefully she doesn't answer. Have you ever whispered at it?
At what?
The lady.
I don't have a lady at my house.
Oh, you don't?
I have SIRI thing.
You have the Apple lady.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. But I haven't tried that.
So I have all of my office lights now are all lady tied in.
Okay.
So I leave them on, and then when I leave the room, I just say, "Lady, turn off the office lights."
Right.
And then or "Lady, turn the office lights to 50%."
Yeah.
So I control the dimming and the on and off with the lady.
Is the lady a switch lady, or is it lights bulb lady? What's the control? What's the control for the lights? Out of curiosity.
The lady.
I know, but what's the smart controller on that light bank?
Nothing. They're intrinsically
Is it
compatible.
The bulbs?
Yeah, the bulbs.
Oh,
the bulbs themselves.
Okay.
Each bulb
That's what I want
is
to
its
know.
own smart bulb.
Okay.
Compatible with the lady.
Okay.
Or the Apple lady.
Okay. What bulbs are they?
Govies.
Oh, okay. I was just curious what you got.
So I use the lady to, but if you're talking, is she actively?
No.
Oh.
It's just my watch is going crazy.
Oh. If you're in a conversational voice and you give a directive, you get a conversational volume response from the lady.
Okay.
But going in and out of office, I mean, last 3 months or so, my day is starting sometimes at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
And if I'm ending or if I'm late into the evening, if I'm gaming or I'm working on something or I'm studying something for one of the kids, it's 11:30, midnight, either 1 a.m. One of the kids has to go to bed. So if lady, turn off the office lights, everyone's going to hear it, or, I don't want to wake anybody up.
Right.
But if you whisper at the lady, she whispers back.
Oh, really?
Yes. So if you, Alexa, turn off the office lights, she will respond, okay.
That's pretty cool. I'm sure Siri doesn't do that.
It is silly when you think about it on its face, because it's like, oh, she's whispering back. Ha ha ha.
Right. But it's functional.
But in the context of, I don't want everyone to hear me turning on and off the lights.
Right.
And it is at a volume where it's not obstructive. It doesn't wake anybody up. I mean, I hope
That's pretty clever.
I hope it doesn't.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah. It's like the watch unlocking your iMac or something, like passively. Like, I didn't know I needed that. Like, we've done it in the kitchen like a couple times just to like be joking around and for something or another. But it wasn't until, maybe a month or so ago when my work mornings started to get really, really, really early, and I don't want to toggle the button, and I don't want to audibly go, hey,
you don't want to sprain your finger,
lady.
Yeah.
Because I like I also keep the dimming. So if I toggle the switch, then I lose then I have to speak at the lady either way,
right? Because
I have to tell her to dim it to 5 or 10%,
right?
So the unintended value of something that year plus ago was just a joke in the house actually has utility.
Yeah.
I've used it countless times in the last 2 to 3 months. Alexa, turn off the office lights. Okay. It's super silly, but super handy.
That's really. I didn't even know that they would whisper back. That's kind of cool.
Now I'm curious if the Apple lady doesn't do it. You've never tried it?
No.
And it's always nailed it. Like it's not just
so its mic is sensitive enough that it can pick up your whisper.
Yeah, and that like the tone of a okay, it's like almost like I don't know what would happen if I just spoke from down the hall so the volume was lower.
Yeah,
it's the vocal intonations of
like it understands the hush whisper.
Yes, versus I'm down the hall and the volume is so low it's barely picking it up. Although that may be hard in my house because there's a lady probably within volume of multiples.
Yeah. We don't have any Alexa devices.
Really?
No.
Do you use the lady to turn on or off lights like that though?
Yes, and I mean, yeah.
You've
not
done
that
it
often.
with like your watch to open the garage, haven't you?
I use it for my garage every day. Every day.
Does she respond when you give the command?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
What's the lady response to a command to open the door?
I'll say, "Hey, open the garage door,"
and
then it will. It kind of varies. It depends on how quick the door responds.
Right.
But it'll say, "Okay, opening the garage door," and and it's going up. Or close the same thing. Close the door.
Right.
And it's like, okay, closing the garage door, and then it goes down. I use it every day when I take Max out for his walk. My phone and my watch. I don't have my keys or anything on me, so if I can't get in the house, then if the garage door doesn't open or if I can't get in the smart lock, then I can't get in the house, basically. But yeah. But I really, man, that's something I really enjoy. I've never thought about whispering, so I'll have to try that.
I'd be curious. I don't have anything with the Apple lady controlling something that would be able to test. Well,
that was the whole reason why I got that was what we were talking about a couple of months ago, the Rat GDO, was specifically to make it HomeKit capable for the garage door opener. Because remember that was the whole debacle was they killed off everybody's ability to get in to the API, right?
Right.
And that little unit's been great. In fact, I had one problem with it, but it was pre-release firmware. For what it was working for a couple of months with pre-release firmware, and it had an update, and I just didn't want to take the time to update it because typically in the past when I update the firmware, it would knock itself off the network, and I'd have to go back in and reconfigure it.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't have time to do that right now. So I would and I'd forget. So one day, it was when Melly was home before she went back to Portland. That's how she opens and closes the garage door, is with the MyQ app. No, she was using the Home app, which is HomeKit.
Okay.
And she's like, I can't get it to open the door. And I'm like, okay. So then
try being less stupid, daughter.
Yeah, and then I try it with the Home app and it won't work. And I'm like, oh, it's telling me it's no response. That's weird.
Oh, okay.
So then I logged into the unit because it's on the network. It has its own IP with a built-in web server. So I logged into the unit and it was like, add me to your HomeKit. Like it had completely lost its configuration or something. Something happened to it.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, now it doesn't have any configuration. Let's update the firmware. So I updated the firmware, deleted it out of the Home app, and re-added it back into the Home app. And it's been fine ever since. But also jumped like 2 revisions in firmware. And it's been great. It's like if you can get to it on the network, you can update the firmware, right? You just click get it off the web and it goes and grabs it from whatever their repository is. Updates the firmware, and it's been solid. Like it always works. But
no complaints.
Yeah, and so we don't. Shannon and I talked about it. We don't have any Alexa things.
Yeah.
I don't know if I trust Amazon or Google for that matter with the listening devices in the house.
Oh, okay.
That's my only thing. I mean, I'm not like I've just heard stuff that they save a bunch of data and they're doing all kinds of shit. And not that Apple's probably doing all the right things, but I at least feel like they care about people's privacy. So I kind of have leaned more on HomeKit stuff than I have on any sort of Alexa stuff. Like I know my new home theater amp has like Alexa built in or whatever, and I'm like, I'm not going to use it. I don't have an Alexa thing anyway.
They're always listening.
They are. The other weird one is even with Siri, right? And it's mainly my watch, and it's probably just because my wrist hits the button all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's like it catches part of your conversation, and she'll be like, I don't understand what you're saying, or what, and you're like, I'm not even talking to you.
Yeah.
You know, I had like 3
How much of this conversation were you actually listening to?
Yeah.
And when are those double enders coming? That's not right. But unless they're coming tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then that's cool.
Yeah. So I don't know. But I use the HomeKit stuff with like the Apple TV. And it's cool when it'll like tell me when the doors lock and stuff. Like it'll pop up a thing on the screen.
Yeah.
I really like that. I really enjoy that sort of centralized feel about it. But I feel like all the devices, phones and watches have it all built into them, so I don't need things all over the house listening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's kind of how I look at it.
We use, at least I do, I mean outside the lights on and off, for a lot of timers. Like constantly in the kitchen for timers. Like just also weather. Like I know that I could pull that from my watch too, but not every Venus has a watch. But when we're sitting at the table, it's a common thing to, lady, what's the weather forecast for? Or when I'm in here, I have at least one Bluetooth speaker, but I'll have the lady out here like play Eagles soundtrack, something.
Sure.
Play me some Linkin Park or whatever.
Yeah.
Just because it happens to be here and it's tied in. But weather and timers, kitchen timers, or I'm in the office and I just need this thing is going to get bounced, and that server, like, I set a 5-minute timer. Like, I certainly could punch that or yell it at my watch and it would do that. But she's just spot on with like some of those simple things. It's kind of weird.
There is a service here in the city of Roseville that you can go in on the website and put your phone number and your address in, and you will get text messages every week on the day before trash day.
Oh, I think, yeah.
As a reminder.
Venus does that.
Yeah. So you get the text message and it tells you if it's just trash or if it's trash and green
waste.
And you get the text message. So I try to leave the text message unread in my messages, but what ends up happening is I forget about it. So, because that would be my reminder that I have a text message that I need to, and then I'm like, oh, well, I'm not ready to do the trash yet, or I'm not ready to take it out yet. And I just leave it, and then I end up forgetting about it.
Okay.
So we've had a couple of close calls with the trash not being out on the street.
Oh.
So there's, on the iOS, they have a Shortcuts app.
Yes.
Have you used that at all?
I used it to make a thing to do animated GIFs.
Okay.
So yes.
So what I was like, I've never really played around with it much. So I'm like, what I want to do is if you get a text message from this number that starts with curbside alerts, which is what it's called, set a reminder at 8:00 that night, which is like a reminder in the reminder app.
Okay.
To alarm at 8:00 that night to remind me because it'll keep bugging me, right?
Okay.
To remind me to take the trash out. And also take the text and put that in the reminder.
Oh, handy.
So I tried that on Monday. I set it up Monday.
Yeah.
After I had already taken the trash out and gotten the text for the day.
Sure.
So we'll find out next Monday
if it works.
If it actually works. I'm curious. Can it be that easy? Maybe.
So if it gets a text message, well, if
it gets a text message from that number, whatever the number is,
okay,
and the text includes curbside alerts.
Okay. Generate me
a reminder for 8:00 p.m. to like alarm on my watch to tell me to put the trash out. And then I have to go into the reminders app and say, yeah, I did that.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
In order to complete the reminder.
Right.
So I figured if I have...
Does it dump the contents of the text into the reminder?
It's supposed to. I think I have it set up right for that.
Okay.
So then the reminder would be able to tell me that it's regular trash or green waste or just trash.
Are reminders shareable?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because I'm sure, because Venus is the one that gets those reminders. But if she could probably have the message forward to you. Yeah, jettison it to either forward or to dump it into a calendar or a reminder that she shares with me.
Yeah.
That, you know.
I'll see if it works or not, because I think you can share the little recipe with other people.
Yeah.
I assume.
That'd be cool.
So I'll find out next week. I just thought I've never really tried that, and I never really had a reason to need a thing to do the thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, well, here's an opportunity for me to use this fucking app that's way over my head as far as some of the usage of it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not even sure if I'm doing the right thing. And then I ran it, and I got a reminder in my app, and I went, well, that's promising. Now, the only unknown is when the text comes in, is it going to see the text?
Right.
Is that going to work?
Is it going to work?
Yeah.
We're at time, but I have a funny one.
All right. That's what she said.
Do you guys have like a funny, I'll give you an example, like a funny family joke thing that you do or you have amongst yourselves that you may have done in public that someone saw and didn't understand the context? And I will give you an example, like the joke you said you have between you and Chandler with the shring.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever done that in a public place and someone saw it and you went, they won't have any idea what that was? Like, that's the kind of context that I'm looking for. Have you ever done something that was like a family joke in public that someone saw it and you went, ooh, that's embarrassing because they have no idea what the fuck I'm doing?
I don't. I think I've just gotten to the point in my life I don't give a shit.
So,
so we do this kind of thing outside.
Like, did anybody
public.
see it? I don't know.
I don't even care.
So I have this running thing, particularly with Venus, that if I see, and this goes back almost to the first story with the RS guy, if I see a Bronco Sport,
okay,
I do an egregiously over the top dry heave because it's an abomination to the Bronco name.
Right.
So
I agree.
It's an edge with Bronco almosts all over it.
Yeah.
So if I see one, it's not fun. My wife she's well past the humor of it, but I do it every time, every single time. There are a couple
no holds barred.
No holds barred. I have to do it.
Okay.
Now it is a have to thing. The other day, Venus and I were going to the gym, and I'm passenger, and a Bronco Sport like rolls up on our. I can't remember where it was. I don't think it was next to us, but it was like in visual, and there was a car on my right hand side with its window down. And I'm, and she's like, and hashtag a little more wife. She was like, okay, that's enough. He can see you. And I kind of like eyeball over to the side, and like there's a guy at his wheel, like kind of,
like what is going on?
Oh my God, is he really getting sick?
Yeah.
This afternoon,
Well, what would have made that better? Hold on.
Okay.
Is if you had just eyeballed him straight on and then just kept doing it.
You're like, just like
right at him.
what are you gonna do? I am. There's someone who swims, is a swim team or something.
Yeah.
Has a like sky blue one that parks right over here at Mega Aquatics. I'm on my way back, and I know this thing is
there all the time.
It's the lowest hanging of fruits,
Right.
for the dry heave gag.
Yeah.
I'm walking past. I'm drinking my energy drink. I'm like laying, and I'm just doing my business. And I see it out of the corner of my eye, and there is a line of cars at the red light for Mega Aquatics, and I'm thinking, and I see the line of cars. I've already full committed to 2 audible
hairball.
And there is an F-150 that is got some young man looking at me like, oh God,
Is he okay?
is he okay? And I, fucking hell, that's embarrassing. And then the light went green, and I went, please hurry past, so I'm not standing there at the crosswalk.
And he has no idea.
Yeah. But it just looks like some dude. Oh my God!
Well, the thing is you're by yourself.
Right.
You're not even with your wife.
No.
Where the joke would normally be given to.
No, that's how much I am invested in this joke. Win, lose, or draw. If there is a Bronco Sport that I see, it gets the full commit, and that is.
I mean, at least we know you're not going to be full of hairballs.
Right. Yeah.
You'll have hairy balls.
I used to do it to gladiators, but I don't really see gladiators. I see Bronco Sports all the time.
Yeah, gladiators are fewer and far between.
Isn't that weird? But the Bronco Sports are. I see them all the time.
Because they're cheaper.
Yeah.
Because they're garbage.
Yes.
Because you're getting a Bronco, but not really getting a Bronco.
You're getting an Edge Bronco.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I feel that.
So I have embarrassed myself on multiple times with that joke, and I don't care.
I feel that.
I'm a grown-ass man making dry heave jokes at the Bronco Sport.
Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do.
You deserve
I do
it.
the robot all the time when we're out, like in line somewhere, and I'll be like, brr, and I have a song I sing, and I just go, brr, 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 and everyone is in on it. And in fact, sometimes everyone else will join in too.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't even care if people see me doing the fucking the robot.
Yeah.
It's a thing I made. I mean, I didn't make up necessarily, but
You're just
I do it a very specific way, and I have a song that goes along with it, and I don't care.
Yeah.
If people see it,
hey man,
hey, they're better off now.
I'm a grown ass man. Okay.
They are 100% better off now if they've seen it.
It's a value add.
Yeah.
To your life.
For sure.
Yeah. The robot and the Bronco Sport.
You'll have a story to tell now.
Right.
And I don't give a rip.
You wouldn't believe. I was taking Johnny to lacrosse practice, and there was some dude like almost throwing up on the sidewalk.
And then he seemed like he was all right.
And then by the time he got to the crosswalk, he was fine. Like, must have been the pollen in the air.
Or he got that hairball
yeah,
up.
or he got the fur ball out. Anyway, we're at time. And on that note, you should return the cart.
Should wash your hands.
Wash your ass.
Check your oil, Tony.
Stay up to date on your shots.
Make the call if you need to.
Pick up a broom.
Do the kindness.
We'll catch you next week.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye.